Front and Center. Front and Center. A focus on important and significant developments affecting the lives of Filipinos, not only in the Philippines, but also those living and working around the world. Join us in Front and Center. Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Welcome to Front and Center, where we focus on developments in the Philippines, legislation that provides policies and directions that strives to promote a better economy for the country, issues that concern the welfare and well-being of every Filipino. All of these and more will be Front and Center. And you can watch this program on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, that's Radyo Pilipinas World Service, also on our audio streaming through Evox PBS receiver app, also on our shortwave broadcast through the following shortwave frequencies in English program. That's 15.640 MHz, 17.750 MHz, and 21.720 MHz. This is your host, Jerome Toledo. Let's begin Front and Center on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Front and Center. Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Okay, the discussion for today's program, Front and Center, is all about the revitalizing the automotive industry for competitiveness enhancement, or RACE program, spearheaded by the Department of Trade and Industry, because there's an information that this particular program or RACE program has been dropped in favor of focusing on electric vehicles. So, but before we to focus on the reason for the dropping of that said program, just a quick recap before we let the resource person for today. We will discuss a bit about the RACE program, because this program, the Revitalizing the Automotive Industry for Competitiveness Enhancement, also known as RACE program, is a proposed 9 billion Philippine peso government initiative to encourage car brands to make more cars or automotives, specifically traditional engine vehicles like the new, for example, the Toyota Tamaraw or the Mitsubishi Xpander. So if we say the traditional engine vehicles, so these are vehicles powered by fuel such as gasoline, petroleum, and diesel. So right here in the Philippines, so under that initiative, car brands will make more cars here in the Philippines rather than importing them. So, meaning to say, the program initially catered to build create or build locally or manufacture car models or car models here in the Philippines rather than importing them in other countries such as Japan, the United States, and so forth. And under the program, the Philippine government hopes to continue the push to promote local assembly of cars in the country. And the government will give car companies tax perks up to 3 billion pesos per company if they produce at least 100,000 units of a specific model. And that goal of the RACE program is to create local jobs, boost local parts makers, and make vehicles more affordable by manufacturing them locally. So we will ask the Department of Trade and Industry of the reason for dropping this particular program, the RACE program. But as we are trying to call the Trade and Industry Department through Secretary Maria Cristina Roque, we will have a very short break here in the program. First, Front and Center will be right back after these messages.
Itinuloy na po natin ang zero balance billing. Libre po. Ibig sabihin, ang serbisyo sa basic accommodation sa ating mga DOH na ospital, wala nang babayaran ang pasyente.
Ang dami pong challenge, hindi po namin alam kung saan namin kukunin, ganon, nag-iisip kung paano namin mababayaran. Siyempre po, masaya, super saya po dahil na zero billing po kami. Opo, malaking ano po talaga, malaking tulong po. Mabilis lang din po.
Bayad na ang bill ninyo. Uulitin ko, wala nang kailangan bayaran ng pasyente basta sa DOH Hospital dahil bayad na po ang bill ninyo.
Naiyak ako kasi sobrang saya. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President Bongbong Marcos Jr. Hindi kami nagkamali ng taong hinalal.
Back here in the program Front and Center on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Still with me, Jerome Toledo. And now, we're now joined by Secretary of Trade and Industry, Secretary Maria Cristina Roque. Good morning, Secretary Roque. Thank you so much for joining us in the program Front and Center on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Yes, good morning po, and good morning to all your viewers.
Okay, so but before we head into our discussion with the reason on the policy shift, Secretary Roque, can you tell us briefly, for the benefit of our listeners, what is RACE program?
Okay, RACE program, actually hindi na natuloy yung RACE program, no? CARS program. For CARS program, that was the incentive given for the cars that are being assembled or that are being manufactured in the Philippines. So for Toyota, this was the small car, the Vios, and also for the Mitsubishi, this was the Mirage. But the CARS program is already finished. So
Okay.
yes, yeah. Tapos na po yung CARS program.
Oh, okay. And so meaning to say, this is, or I'm sorry, the RACE program is, I think, suspended. Is that
No, the
correct?
RACE program is hindi na siya itutuloy.
Oh, okay.
So it was
Discontinued.
it never began. So hindi siya natuloy, hindi siya itutuloy. We will be moving now to the EVs, the electric vehicle incentive scheme.
I see. So it's a discontinued program. Okay, that's clear. And is the continuous oil price hike the reason why the program was discontinued or dropped and redirected?
No, that's not the reason. It was really hindi siya natuloy. Actually, hindi siya discontinued, hindi siya natuloy.
Oh, it was.
The incentive will now be for the electric vehicles because even in the past, even before this crisis, we really actually are really pushing for the electric vehicles because we actually alam din natin na we are really moving towards for the renewable energy, the electric. We really want to push electric vehicles also, aside from the not too much dependence on gas also. We also want to protect the climate. So,
Okay.
Importante din po tayo maka-shift din sa electric vehicles. Tapos ganito ang nangyari, this situation in the Middle East. So, very timely din po ito.
Okay. So primarily the reason for that is because in the beginning we are pushing for electric vehicle, and then at the same time we are also pushing for climate resilience and also protection because
There's really we need to also protect the climate. Dapat huwag masyadong polluted, and then we need to shift to electric vehicles so at least even the consumers have a choice between electric vehicles and also the regular vehicles, the gasoline driven or the diesel driven vehicles.
Okay. I would like to ask this, Secretary Roque, how the car makers received this policy shift or this
Wala
this
pa.
program?
The EVs is not yet implemented. We're still waiting for the latest updates. No? Wala pa siya. It's still being reviewed. So there's really nothing final yet.
Okay, but this particular program is called, if you can confirm this, electric vehicle. Electric vehicle incentive strategy, right?
Yeah, iba sa EV siya. Opo.
Yeah, okay. How will this EVIS program start? Will there be an order to be released, Secretary?
We just have to wait for the update. Once may update na tayo, we will inform the public. So for now, it's there's still discussions and it's still being processed. So let's once we have a new update, we will inform the public.
But now we are now shifting into electric vehicles. Are there in the beginning or initially, are there any electric vehicle maker or groups who signified their interest to participate?
We can't say for sure yet because wala pa, hindi pa siya lumalabas eh. They will only actually inform them once final na talaga. But of course, now with all of this crisis that's ongoing, we can foresee that may mga magkaka-interest dito. But they need to know the mechanics also eh, before they can join. So dapat mailatag namin sa kanila kung ano yung mechanics. But nothing is final yet, so we just have to wait.
Okay, and I'm sure
Yeah.
those electric vehicle makers are willing to participate in this particular program, which is the EVIS program. Okay, so I would like to ask this also: how do you have estimates of how much electric vehicle will be produced locally?
No, we don't have those numbers yet. Actually, wala pa kaming numbers ng ganun. Especially now that there's a shift in the demand for the electric vehicles.
Okay.
So, we'll just inform you once meron na.
Okay, but how much is the estimated industry value of electric vehicles in the Philippines by DTI estimate?
We don't have that information yet, but once meron, we will update and we will inform you.
Okay, and also how many jobs it can create once this program pushes?
Pardon?
How many jobs it can generate once this program pushes?
We can't say yet for sure because depending on who will join and depending what will they assembly ba sila, manufacturing, or we will only know for sure once they go on board. So it's hard to speculate also now.
Do you see like hundreds of jobs it can create that?
Well, definitely, maraming trabaho po ito because this is a big investment. So, usually, pag large yung investment, marami pong jobs ang ma-generate. So, yes, we expect a lot of jobs, a lot of indirect industries will also be, actually will benefit from this program na, but it's hard for us to speculate now kung ilan talaga specifically, but definitely there will be a lot of jobs
Well,
will be generated,
right.
and a lot of industries na matutulungan din.
Okay. Currently, how much is the market share of electric vehicles here in the Philippines? By
I
estimate?
cannot also say for sure, especially now na kakaano pa lang na because of this crisis.
Okay. And for sure, it will spur sales of electric vehicles in the Philippines because of this development. And also, how much is the investment that the EVIS program will actually taking place?
I can't say pa for sure. Let's wait na lang for the final because everything is still in the discussion. So once we have a final, we will inform the public.
Oh.
Yeah, it's hard to say now because it's still we're still actually finalizing and we're still in the final discussions. So, mahirap din tong sabihin yung exact amount.
All right. But this particular ship, is this temporary or is this a permanent permanent one, Secretary?
Yes, just like the CARS program, no, we can't also say for sure kung how long will this program be. So once meron na, we will inform the public.
Okay, got it. Okay, and also in this one will create local jobs. Should
Yes,
this program?
definitely. Magbibigay ito ng trabaho, then we'll get
Boost.
new investments, then investors will come in, and we will shift. We will be able to shift to electric vehicles quickly. So we're really hoping to get this done. But in the meantime, na wala pa, it's hard for us to give the specifics. But we'll definitely inform the public once we have the exact numbers, the exact information.
Okay.
Para it's exacto.
Okay. For sure, this is
Accurate
on the
and
works.
also everybody's well informed.
Okay, so it's still in the works, and we're very excited to have you again in the program, Secretary Roque. Once this
Yes,
EVIS
thank
program.
you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for joining us in the program, Secretary Maria Cristina Roque of the Department of Trade and Industry. So, meaning to say, although the electric vehicle incentive strategy is already out. It's Secretary Roque said it's still in the works, so we don't. She said that there is no definite plans or definite definition regarding of what will take place here, how much investment it will have, how many jobs it can create. But nonetheless, we are very excited to see how much or how well this program goes, because unlike before the shift, there is a 9 billion peso government initiative that was given in the previous program, which is the race program, which was succeeded or preceded rather by CARS program of the said trade and industry department. So we will have to check with them again regarding this program. So, and at the same time, because it's very timely, as Secretary Roque mentioned, that the reason for that is they are pushing for electric vehicle, and at the same time to protect the climate. And this particular ship happened before the Middle Eastern crisis took place. So this is a wait and see development. So we will have to check with them in the next coming weeks regarding the implementation of the electric vehicle incentive strategy. But in the meantime, Front and Center will be right back here on our station, Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Stay tuned.
Mabilisang trivia, dagdag talino. Heto na ang Dagling Kaalaman.
Nasubukan niyo na bang gumamit ng QR codes? Ang QR codes o Quick Response Codes ay naimbento noong 1994 ni Masahiro Hara, isang engineer ng Japanese company na Denso Wave. Pangunahing layunin nito ang pag-label at i-track ang automotive parts. Sa pagnanais na maikalat at makatulong ito sa lipunan, isinulong ng Denso ang Advanced International Standardization at ginawang open source ang technology. At ngayon, ito ay ginagamit na sa lahat, mula sa mobile payments hanggang sa restaurants, event tickets at authentication system.
Kaunting kaalaman na malaking dagdag talino. Abangan muli ang susunod na Dagling Kaalaman. Mas pinadali na ang government transactions sa tulong ng eGov.ph Super App. Pwedeng-pwede mo nang magawa ang lahat ng ito. I-download ang eGov app sa iyong smartphone o tablet mula sa App Store o Google Play Store. Pagkatapos, ilagay ang iyong mobile number at i-authenticate gamit ang one-time PIN o OTP para marehistro ang iyong account. Saka ilagay ang iyong mga pangunahing impormasyon at kumpletuhin ang facial recognition technology para sa verifikasyon ng iyong pagkakakilanlan. Para sa mas mabilis at mas maayos na serbisyong panggobyerno, gamitin na ang eGov.ph Super App.
Alam nyo, lahat ng mata kaya kong titigan. Puwera lang mata ng bagyo. Kaya sa tuwing hinahagupit tayo ng bagyo, tandaan ang listen, lock, and leave. Listen. Makinig sa balita tungkol sa direksyon at lokasyon ng bagyo. Tutok na sa mga news report sa radyo, sa TV at social media para malaman kung ano ang wind signal sa inyong lugar. Abangan din ang payo ng inyong LGU. Next, lock. Isara mga pinto, bintana, cabinet at main switch ng inyong bahay bago lumikas o pumunta sa evacuation center. And finally, leave. Lumikas ng mahinahon. Huwag ipagtulakan ang sarili kasi may taong nag-aantay sa iyo sa evacuation. Kaya laging tandaan, listen, lock, and leave. #panatag ang may alam.
Maging panatag Pilipinas.
Mabilisang trivia, dagdag talino. Heto na ang Dagling Kaalaman.
Ngayong tag-ulan, kasabay ng baha ang banta ng leptospirosis, isang sakit na dulot ng bakterya mula sa ihi ng hayop, kadalasan mula sa daga. Narito ang mga dapat tandaan para makaiwas. Iwasang lumusong sa baha kung hindi kinakailangan. Kung lumusong, agad na maghugas o maligo gamit ang sabon at malinis na tubig. At kung may sintomas, agad na kumonsulta sa doktor para sa tamang gamutan. Protektahan ang sarili at pamilya. Iwas leptospirosis, iwas peligro. Stay safe, kabayan!
Kaunting kaalaman na malaking dagdag talino. Abangan muli ang susunod na Dagling Kaalaman.
Garantisadong solusyon at aksyon ang handog sa iyo ng bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center. Sundin lang ang mga sumusunod para makakuha ng appointment. Para sa wala pang eGov.ph app account, panoorin ang video para malaman kung paano gumawa ng account. Kung meron ng account sa eGov.ph app, mag-login dito. Saka hanapin ang online registration tab para sa bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center. Pindutin ito para makita ang available na government services. Piliin ang serbisyo na iyong kailangan mula sa listahan. I-upload ang requirements ng serbisyong kailangan mo. Pumili ng petsa at oras kung kailan nais pumunta sa bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center. I-submit na ang iyong application at bigyan ng pagkakataon na ma-review ang iyong isinumiting requirements. Hintayin ang QR code para sa kumpirmasyon ng iyong schedule. Makakatanggap ka ng text message para malaman kung naaprubahan ito. Sakaling hindi ito maaprubahan, makakatanggap ka rin ng text message para ipaalam ang kulang na requirements sa kasubukang mag-register ulit. Kung nakatanggap na ng kumpirmasyon, maaari nang pumunta sa bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center sa napiling schedule, dala ang QR code at ang mga isinumiteng requirements. Huwag kalimutang dumating sa itinakdang araw at oras ng iyong appointment. Pinapaalala rin na siguruhing may kumpirmadong schedule bago pumunta sa bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center para maiwasang magpabalik-balik. Simple at user-friendly ang pagpapa-appointment dito. Kaya wag nang mangamba dahil sa bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center, tulong ay abot kamay na.
Front and center. Front and center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Welcome back to Front and Center on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Still with me, Jerome Toledo. And before we conclude our program, because we only have a few minutes left in our broadcast, we'll focus on the President Marcos Jr.'s health, and at the same time, the president is still working to resolve the ongoing crisis in our oil supply, because Malacanang said President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. will stay focused on resolving the country's energy emergency despite a surge of online disinformation questioning his health. And the Communications Acting Secretary Dave Gomez reported that the agency's anti-fake news desk detected a sudden and coordinated spread of false claims across social media platforms. So meaning to say there is a spike of misinformation and disinformation happening across social media. And he said the government is preparing a legal action against those responsible and those behind those fake pages that spreads malicious information on the current health of the president. And Secretary Gomez stressed that the president remains concentrated on addressing the energy crisis, which was declared a national emergency. To recall, if we can recall, the president has approved a law that declares, or has released rather, an order declaring an emergency on our security, on our energy security rather, which was declared following a global oil supply disruption linked to tensions in the Middle East. And he added that even traditional media outlets have been affected by the spread of misleading posts that is being spread online. And the PCO is now gathering and documenting evidences for possible charges. And I've watched a news that Secretary Gomez went before DOJ, or the Justice Department, to file cases against those individuals responsible for spreading fake news and disinformation against President Marcos Jr.'s health. And according to Secretary Gomez, authorities are working to identify the individuals and networks behind those in disinformation campaign, which he suggested was intended to undermine the administration. And President Marcos earlier dismissed rumors about his health, saying he has returned to his normal routine after recovering from diverticulitis last January. And we hope this disinformation campaigns against the president will be stopped by these series of filings in the court conducted by Secretary Gomez. And we appeal to our listeners and to our kababayans or fellow countrymen that if they detected a fake news regarding the health of the president, please consider flagging it or reporting it to Meta, and also reporting it on the agency's anti-fake news desk, so that we can help combat the spread of disinformation and fake news spreading across social media. And now let's switch before we conclude our program, because the Philippine government. So let's switch on the pressing issues, particularly the launch of nationwide service contracting program, which is set to take place on April 15 to help caution commuters and public transport workers from the impact of rising fuel prices. And President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. announced the rollout in a video message posted on Thursday following the latest meeting of the Unified Package for Livelihoods, Industry, Food and Transport Committee, or UPLIFT, the interagency body responsible for responding to global oil price shocks tied to tensions in the Middle East. And under the program, the public utility vehicle operators and drivers will receive payments which ranges from 40 pesos to 100 pesos per kilometer on top of their regular fare collections. And commuters will also get at least a 20% fare discount, and that's under the fuel subsidy program. And the president said the initiative will prioritize routes connected to train lines and major bus corridors to improve overall mobility. And President added that the program will cover around 50,000 PUVs and 1,000 operators and as many as 15 million passengers nationwide. And also on the same video message posted on the Presidential Communications Office on Thursday, the service contracting will be implemented during the off-peak hours to ensure transport availability beyond rush hour periods. And all participating units will be monitored through GPS to track compliance and maintain service quality. And the program, which is the service contracting program, revives a pandemic-era scheme originally designed to stabilize public transport operations. That kind of scheme implemented during the pandemic era was originally designed to cater the needs of the commuting public during the COVID-19 pandemic. And now, what makes it different is now repurposed to address cost pressures from rising fuel prices. So that's the difference. And the announcement comes as the country faces a declared energy emergency amid global supply disruptions, which was linked to geopolitical conflict in the Middle East. And also same on the service contracting and also the fuel subsidy and other transportation related issues tied to rising oil prices. The Philippine government will grant a 10 peso per liter fuel subsidy for public utility vehicles for up to 3 months to help ease the impact of rising oil prices. And President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. made the announcement in a video message saying the assistance will cover up to 150 liters per week per vehicle. And the program will begin in Metro Manila next week, starting along Commonwealth Avenue before expanding to major transport corridors such as Quezon Avenue, España, Zapote, A. Bonifacio, Rizal Avenue, and Marcos Highway. That's all those transport corridors or highways are located in the National Capital Region. And the subsidy will be distributed through accredited gasoline stations monitored by the Department of Energy to prevent misuse. And the President said the measure is meant not only to support transport workers, but also to help contain increases in food and other essential goods which are affected by higher fuel costs. The initiative forms part of the government's broader response to a national energy emergency following global oil supply disruptions linked to tensions affecting key routes like the Strait of Hormuz. And the government earlier implemented a fuel cash subsidy program, which was spearheaded by the Department of Social Welfare and Development, and is also studying possible adjustments to fuel excise taxes to help bring down pump prices. Although this particular excise tax suspension has been approved by both House of Representatives and the Senate, but it's up to the executive department of how much they will reduce on that fuel excise tax. So all in all, so this is a part of the whole of government approach, which addressing the impacts of the Middle East crisis affecting the oil prices, and at the same time to cushion the public from the rising global oil prices. Okay, and with that, we now conclude this edition of Front and Center on Radyo Pilipinas World Service, together with our technical team headed by Mr. Milo Junella. Also on Wirecast and audio streaming, we have Mr. Hiro Lucero. This is your host, Jerome Toledo. Until next time, mabuhay.
You have just heard and watched Front and Center. Front and Center. Join us again for another edition here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Front and Center.